Good. Okay. So I'll call the meeting to order. And I'd like to acknowledge that we're in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. And before us is the agenda. And one thing I'd like to add to the agenda, if everyone's agreed, and under maybe item 6B, suppose we'll have an little in-camera session before the end of the meeting. Everybody deems that acceptable. I'd ask for approval of the agenda. Moved.
I'd like to know the intent of the in-camera session before we.
Contractual.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Great. Seconded by Ed. All in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. On the, what do we got here? Oh, minutes from the last meeting. So we have the minutes from the February 17th meeting. Are there any errors or omissions to note? Hearing none, I'll look for approval for the meetings. Moved, seconded by.
Sure.
Ed. Okay, good. All in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. Thanks, Melissa. You balanced out the room a little better for us now. I'm glad you're here. Okay, business arising from minutes, no unfinished business that I'm aware of. Anyone has anything to add to that? Okay, good. And we'll move into new business. And our business at hand today is the 2022-23 draft budget for fire protection. And maybe I'll hand that over to Lisa and she can maybe run us through that.
Certainly. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. So I thought if it pleases the committee that we would just sort of go down through the various sections of the budget, just noting some of the changes. Overall, the budget has changed. The operating budget has changed by $16,800 or 2.4%. So in the first section under administration, the main change there is just the reinstituting the conventions for the chief that had been dropped off during that period of COVID where there were no conventions taking place. So maybe just if there's any other questions or anything in that section, if not, I'll just move on to the next. And if I rattle on and you need to flag me down there. So then under firefighting force, really, it is the WCB changes related to the rate. The change in the superintendent salary is related to step-ons in the scale. The firefighter honorarium changes related to the CPI adjustment for the upcoming year. So then moving down to training, that $3,000 bump is just bringing it up to the pre-COVID level, that there had been some reductions because we hadn't had as much activity going on. So then under fire stations and buildings, most of those are just based on what the actual operating costs are for those things. You'll note heating fuel, of course, the rate adjustment there, insurance adjustment. This is probably the first full winter of our new heat pumps, and sort of just an adjustment between what's electricity and what's oil fuel there, and a slight reduction in the building repairs because there was a special repair there before for the door item. So then under firefighting equipment. Yep.
I just have a question there regarding, so I understand fuel going up and then we have heat pumps in and electricity actually has gone down, right?
Really, it's because that was an estimate. We'd never had a full winter with the heat pumps and
Okay.
sort of what that would be. So we're realizing what the actual consumption is.
Oh,
for
yeah.
that.
So it's more on the, when you're, yeah, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So really under the firefighting equipment, there's really no change there other than the insurance adjustment and the reduction in interest because of the debt being paid down. So that covers the operating budget. So then the capital budget is on page page 7. And it has several already pre-approved items with the Freightliner rescue truck that had been pre-approved, and the Ford utility number 7, which is also a pre-approved item. So the one new item, and it's not really a new item because it has been discussed in other years, is about the vehicle exhaust extraction system for the $60,000. That's the one item still in the capital budget to be approved.
Any questions for Lisa then? Okay. Now, Lisa, just so we, everybody's on the same page. So we have the new rescue truck, budgeted there and everything. Is there a breakdown on the cost share? Have we, because I think we've made an assumption on the cost.
We have the cost sharing for that is on page 10 of your packet. And we have assumed a 50-50 sharing for that, and also for the vehicle extraction system. So council will see the debt there, and fire truck reserve, those are town items, and then the 50% cost assumed from the district.
I guess, just, I don't want the district to have sticker shock or anything. That's, because you got to, yeah, you got to go back and sell it right now to the board. So, so that's good. So hopefully you can do that with confidence, and we'll have our budget will be approved as is. Ed, yeah.
Just one quick note, in the notes here that we talk about the vehicle or the extraction system. That's an estimate at 60,000, because in here he said that those could be well over 100,000. How do you know it's $60,000?
So Darren, I don't know if you want to speak to that?
So a couple of years ago, we had a couple estimates come in, and the one type of system is on tracks. So you hook it up to your truck in the station onto the exhaust pipe, and as you drive out, it follows you out and lets go when the truck's out the door. That's the more expensive one. They also make them where they release automatically. So most 4 trucks or big trucks are right out front anyway. So for the sake of that 3 seconds after you start the truck and go out, we feel that that big price difference. And this was the other quote was the smaller one. And we just felt that that was sufficient enough, because the biggest blast of exhaust fumes you get is when the truck first starts. So that truck will be started sitting there for 30 seconds or more until everybody gets in and goes out. So we feel that instead of going with the big luxury one, that one would suffice.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that that was an accurate estimate. Okay, thank you.
And Darren, did you say they all released automatically, no matter which one you have?
Yeah, they're on magnets somehow, and they attach to the tailpipe.
Yeah.
And like I say, once you drive away, it has sensors into it, and I don't know all the technical thing on it, but like I say, I think it's 2 or 3 years ago when we got the quotes. This second one was considerably cheaper, so hopefully that's enough for it. But
Okay, so.
So if it pleases the committee, then there can be a motion to recommend these to, council and the commission. I guess I was just curious if was a budget meeting set for the commission, or new in the next meeting? Pardon me? Okay. Just curious for timelines. Sure.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know if you want me to read off a proposed motion.
That might be in order. I guess that way we have a official.
Yeah, because there isn't one included in the agenda, unfortunately. So recommend approval of the draft 22-23 protective services operating and capital budgets to town council and District 1 and 2 Fire Commission, with the proposed sharing of 50-50 for the Freightliner and for the vehicle extraction system.
Okay, so there's the motion. Anyone willing to move that? Moved by Ryan. Ed, any discussions on the motion?
I guess just to note, the new one's not a Freightliner. That's the old one. The new one's a Pierce Maxi Metal. I don't know if that matters, but it's still the same cost.
The replacement of the freight. liner,
Replacement,
perhaps. That's
okay.
what the wording I need to add in there. Thank you, Darren.
Okay. Well, thank you. All right, all good, all in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion is carried unanimously. Okay, there's no other new business that on the agenda that we can think of, so I'd look for a motion to move in. Oh, yeah,
Discussion
I
before
guess
we
we
did
could do
that.
that, yeah, before we do that one way or the other, but yeah, let's do it now while everyone's here. So what is our next date proposed for?
I don't know that there was a schedule set. I think it was
I can look.
left
here.
for discussion this time.
It would normally be when, in June or May? June. Yeah. If I could avoid having it in July, I would. I'd rather have it towards the end of June, if everybody, that sounds reasonable to anyone. That way we can have July and August off before September, come back September. So June sound okay to everyone? Typically, they are Thursday afternoons. Let's see, June. So the 23rd. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could do 16th, if that's okay with everyone. 16th of June. David's away. Well, no, well, that's gonna happen. So, so it's the 16th or the 23rd, whatever anyone's pleasure is. I probably, what would be least, like with school ending and all, graduations and all that kind of stuff. So 16th might be better in that regard. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Perfect. We may as well while we're at it. Maybe December earlier than later, perhaps. Well, the 3rd. It is the 15th, yeah. That okay with everybody? But we can always. That's good, Kevin, yeah. As long as Kevin can make it, I don't care. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so very good. So we have our meeting set and just look for a motion to move in camera then. Who, second it? All in favor? So moved. So we'll take a 5-minute recess and